Hey there, Agile Adventurer. Just a quick question. What if, for the price of a fancy coffee or half a pizza, you could unlock over 700 hours of the best Agile content on the planet? That's audio, video, e-courses, books, presentations, all that you can think of. But you can also join live calls with world-class practitioners and hang out in a flame war-free and AI slop-clean Slack with the sharpest minds in the game. Oh, and yes, you get direct access to me, Vasco, your Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. No, this is not a drill. It's the Scrum Master Toolbox membership. And it's your unfair advantage in the Agile world. So if you want to know more, go check out scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. That's scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. And check out all the goodies we have for you. Do it now. But if you're not doing it now, let's listen to the podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday, the Leading Change or Changed Leadership episode, as I like to call it, this week with Luca Cotta Ramusino. Hey, Luca, welcome back.
Hello, Vasco. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So Wednesday's change. And of course, I'm sure you have faced many change processes in your life,
Yes.
Especially introducing lean and agile thinking in construction. So how do you go about introducing these methods into a construction project? What's your change strategy?
Okay. I think we already mentioned that it's important to get buy-in from the crews you're going to be working with. You know, not just management, the guys who hired you to go to the construction site, but from the actual crews. So show them what's in it for them. But one of the most important lessons I learned is that and I learned it the hard way, you can't just parachute consultants, from outside on the construction site, and then everything by magic will just fall into place. Okay, especially because some of the lean construction techniques are very different from what everyone has been doing until that moment. So the same as I experienced a culture shock when I first started studying lean, I expect that people on site will experience the same culture shock. So to get buy-in, well, initially, okay, I'm old enough to have seen a movie called Karate Kid. Okay?
Indeed.
And, well, I guess some of your listeners are too young, but, look it up, rent it. It's probably still on Netflix or other platforms. Anyway, the karate teacher, Mr. Miyagi, was trying to teach this young hoodlum karate so that he would not get beaten up by bullies. And he began by giving him things that look like mindless exercises. One of the most famous quotes from Karate Kid is wax on, wax off. Okay, so the Japanese teacher said, you put the wax on cars. He had the kid wax cars. So wax on with your right hand, wax off with your left hand, and don't switch the two. And that turned out that it was a very effective carrying technique, to deflect blows by an opponent, to deflect an attack by an opponent. So I start with exercises that give you, okay, if I was telling a story, that would be the moral of the story. In the case of an exercise, it's like, okay, I I see how this applies to my job. So, I have them do little games and simulations. Uh, One that is very popular is called a Parade of Trades. A Parade of Trades is different crews that need to build and refinish like a tower block, like a 30 floor hotel. Okay. And it's simulated on paper, and you roll dice. And it shows you that it doesn't matter if one crew is going at twice the speed of every other crew, because that crew sooner or later will hit a wall. They will hit the crew that's been doing work before them. And they're going faster, so that if this crew is going faster, pretty soon they will have nothing to do because no work is ready for them. And what you do is you show them the total time it takes to build this 35 floor hotel does not depend on how fast everyone is going, but rather on how predictably everyone is going, so that you know how much ready work you have for you to complete.
Yeah, and actually, that's a very good point. When you were telling that story, I got reminded of the theory of constraints and the drum buffer rope technique, and of course, we also have that in lean that you should. How do you say? You should set the tact. I think that's the term that we use this time.
Yes.
You should set the tact at the speed of the lowest step in the site, or in your case the site. In our case, the development project, because if you put a lot more work into a team or a specialty that is going slow, you're actually making that specialty or that skill even slower, which then creates all kinds of other problems, not the least of which low quality when it comes to software, for example. How do the teams then react, right? Like, because you were addressing the culture shock with this kind of simulation. So how do teams usually react when they finally realize this from the simulation?
You could say that I start with games and simulations, and then as they become familiar with the concept, I slowly move into the background. So I might start by facilitating meetings and conversations, and then as time passes, the teams become more self-sustaining. So I move into the background. There's a running joke, among consultants. So a good consultant is like a good psychiatrist. If he's very good, he will find himself without work to do, And after a while, the teams become self-sufficient and self-sustaining. So my role becomes that of support.
Absolutely, that's a great point, and also kind of that gradual validation that the change is working, that people are taking responsibility, people are doing things on their own. Also because no matter how many lean and agile consultants you have in a construction site, they will not be able to be everywhere.
Yeah, that is, this is something that many teams don't seem to grasp. They're thinking, oh, we are being so productive because we have this consultant in the room. And I tell them, no. Look at this whiteboard or what have you. Look at these posts. I'm just the guy with the magic marker. But it's you who did the work. I just copied it to the whiteboard, but you're the expert in, installing whatever, installing Windows.
Yeah, and these are physical Windows, not operating system Windows.
No, actual Windows that you can open. Yeah.
That was a great story. Thank you for sharing that with us, Luca.
Welcome.
All right, I hope you liked this episode. But before you hit next episode, here's the deal. This podcast is powered by people like you, the members who wanted more than just inspiration. They wanted real tools and real connection to people who are practicing Agile every day. We're talking access to over 700 hours of Agile Gold, CTO level strategy talks, summit keynotes, live workshops, e-courses, deep dive interviews, books, and if you're into No Estimates, we got the pioneers of No Estimates in those deep dive interviews as well. Agile business intelligence, creating product visions, coaching your product owner courses, you name it. You'll get invites to monthly live Q&As with Agile pioneers and practitioners, plus a private Slack community, which is free of all of that AI slop you see everywhere, and of course, without the flame wars. It's a community of practitioners that want to learn and thrive together. It's the best place to connect with community and learn together. So if this podcast has helped you before, imagine what you will get from this podcast membership. So head on over to scrummastertoolbox.org/membership and join the community that's shaping the future of Agile. And we have so much for you. So check out all the details at scrummastertoolbox.org/membership, because listening is great, it's important, but doing it together, that's next level. I'll see you in the community Slack. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.